Well, this is the second edition of the investment series aimed at identifying opportunities likely to benefit from the global supply chain shift from China to India. Let's do a three-point analysis to really evaluate the case for pharmaceuticals, consumer durables, and aquaculture. 1. The pharma sector. While India is a leading exporter in the generic pharma space, dependence on China for the APIs or the active pharmaceutical ingredients is unreasonably skewed at 70% of imports. Broadly, such a direct or indirect dependence on China is the same for most of the major economies around the world, and therefore it is the area which gets attention in the supply chain shift efforts. Now, industrial order book or inquiries are generally seen as a lead indicator for manufacturing sector's performance, truly. Now, GMM Fordler in its Q4 FY20 call indicated that several pharma clients are now looking for an expansion eyed at additional business opportunities in India due to China factor. Aarti Industries and Solara Active have confirmed this trend. Prospects like this is matched by the recent $1.3 billion package for the investment in pharma sector by the union government as well. On the API space, companies which appear to be well positioned given the wide portfolio are Laurus Labs, Solara Active, Ipca Laboratories and Divis Laboratories. Now, companies such as Aarti Drugs, Granules India, JB Chemicals, IOL Chemicals would also be worth tracking, as some of them are a significant manufacturer of drugs and APIs such as paracetamol, metronidazole as well as ibuprofen. Now, on the formulation space especially, companies such as Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Cadila Healthcare, they have reasonable export exposure, particularly in the US market, and also demands attention here. Further, companies better positioned for complex generics such as Biocon, Dr. Reddy's should be kept at a close watch. 2. Consumer durables. Well, if you really talk about how China enjoys the largest share in the sector, both in terms of manufacturing as well as exports, the market size for consumer durables in India is estimated at 50 to 55,000 crore rupees, while the value of electronic goods, that is both finished and intermediate imports into India, stand in the range of 35 to 40,000 crore rupees. The share of India in consumer durables in the export market is fairly negligible. The value of exports is pegged at 5,000 crore rupees only. Now, due to the ongoing US-China trade war, companies were already looking to de-risk their supply chains away from China, even prior to the coronavirus pandemic hit. Now, Havells and Voltas have recently set up their in-house manufacturing facilities to really reduce the import dependencies. Global mobile giants such as Samsung, Xiaomi and Apple, they've all set up domestic manufacturing units to promote local production. India has the potential to really emerge as a strong alternative for foreign companies which are looking to shift their manufacturing and sourcing from China now. COVID-19 has really triggered concerns on an over-dependence on China and could catalyze the growth of contract manufacturers in India per se. Dixon Technologies is looking to scale up its presence in the export market through the lighting and the mobile segment. Now, if you look at the other companies such as the AC manufacturer Amber Enterprises, that could also benefit from the market opportunities thrown across by the pandemic. Also, 3. Aquaculture. Indian shrimp industry per se has really seen a phenomenal growth in the past 5 years on the back of deeper penetration in the US markets. Now, the domestic market has already grown in size, as the country now accounts for, say, 40% of the US imports. That was 20% earlier. Now, while Apex Frozen Foods and Avanti Feeds have enough spare capacities to scale up their business, the growth opportunities for the industry appears quite limited at this stage in time, as global demand appears to have stagnated. Further, the market share gains in the mature markets such as US and Europe also appear extremely difficult, despite the government intentions to really develop the fisheries sector that it has been lately focused on. Demand scenario appears uncertain, as many countries have also banned seafood imports and consumers are avoiding meat consumption due to the spread of coronavirus.